Welcome everyone. This is our deploy approval sync call. Especially we are talking about the prototype we recently built, and then if it works well alongside the vision we have, like we have a bunch of issues, and then it aligns with this prototype, aligns with this vision. So let me share my screen. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do demo at first. I think you'll already know that how feature is supposed to work. So I'm not gonna dive into the like a feature concept, etc. Just explaining the situation, the demo situation. Not this one. Maybe this one. So here's a technical issue, and then briefly describing the like demo situation. In this issue, we try to build a prototype of and evaluate the feature on a hypothetical situation. There's a project with continuous deployment setup. There are two operators in a project, operator A and operator B. Operators want to require an approval on deployment. Only both operator A and operator B have agreed upon the deployment. The project executes the deployment job. Operators can check the approval history, who, when approved or rejected which deployments. And then if a deployment is rejected, the pipeline job fails with a clear message. So this is we're going to evaluate in this prototype. And then here here's a demo project. Hope it works. So here's a demo project, and then it has a pipeline configuration. So it's a bit slow because I recently changed the computer. So here's our GitLab YAML file, and then it's very simple. That only one job, deploy job. And then this deploy job is deploying to production environments, and this is very simple setup. And then let's create a pipeline at first. We haven't set up any deployment approval yet. Just this production environment is, I did assign it. The production environment is not protected yet. So I'm going to sign in as an operator A. Okay. All right, and then as an operator A, I'm going to run a pipeline. Jesus, it's so slow. Okay, so the pipeline, deployment pipeline is now created. I executed as an operator A, and then we can see that pipeline, this deploy job is running and successfully deployed to production environments. And in fact, we can see deployment environments. And okay, so here's a production environment, and then we are seeing that number 3 deployment succeeded. This is corresponding to this job. So here's a problem that this operator A wants to protect this production environment, like only operator A and operator B have agreed upon them that this production, this deployment job can be executed. To do so, operator A is going to set up protected environments, visiting setting, CI/CD, and then here's a protected environments configuration. Okay, so we're going to select production environment, allow to access. Here's operator A, root, operator B is the senior user. And here's a new configuration. By the way, environment and allow to access already existing today. We already have a protected environment feature, and then these two entries are already existing. So here is a required approval. This is a new config entry. So 0 meaning deployment execution doesn't require any approvals. But since we want to since operator wants one approval, we're going to set we want to set 1, and then create this entry. And then we can see that successfully created. So now operator is gonna run a pipeline again. See what's gonna happen. Run a pipeline. Okay, so we are seeing that operator is saying that this pipeline is blocked, and then actually we are seeing that this normal job is converted to manual action. That let's see this job detail page. So this job is waiting for approval. This job deploys to a protected environment called production, which requires no approvals. So this is a kind of new UI in this prototype. So in order to execute this job, the operators have to go to the deployment page and to approve or reject. So we're going to jump to the page. And then here's a new button. We are saying that this is basically you can take, operators can take an action, approve or reject. So approve or reject deployment number 4. This is the latest deployment job, which is currently blocked. Approving will run the manual job from deployment number 4. Rejecting will fail the manual job. So environment is production, deployment here is production, manual job. This is a deployment job name. So as operator A, try to approve it. But of course, it results in error because the same user cannot approve. So I'm going to sign in as a different user. Okay, now I'm signed in as operator B. And then I'm going to environment page. Okay, now as an operator B, I'm gonna approve it. Since here's a reload issue, I'm gonna hard reload for now. But it should work. Okay, we are seeing that the job which was blocked previously, it started running. Okay, we are seeing that deployment job was proceeded with that approval, and then yes, we are seeing that number 4 is the latest deployment. So yes, so this is a scenario 1, and then I'm going to show you the other scenario that the rejection pass. So as an operator A, I'm going to run a new deployment job. And of course, it's blocked. And this time, as an operator B, I'm going to disapprove it. So here's a reject. And I'm going to hard reload. Okay, we are seeing that now the deploy job failed. And then let's see the job detail page. I'm visiting the job detail page. Okay, so here's a new error message that this deployment job was rejected. So because operator B disapproved it, this job actually failed. So this is a demo. Any questions or wanna like try out the other paths or something?
Jinya, Andrew, this is excellent. Thank you for setting the demo. I also watched the video, so this was that was a great preview of this as well. But what are, you mentioned other paths, or what are the other paths?
So like potentially there are many scenarios that how we actually have no idea how actual operators use this feature. So yeah. Hopefully, like PM and the UX can give us more the actual scenarios or like actual voice from the actual customers. That will be helpful. So we can brainstorm the scenario more. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.
Sorry that. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Daniel.
Yeah, no, I wanted to echo Chris' comment. Thanks for the demo, Sheena and Drew. I love how this looks already. You thought about so many small details of interaction and copy that I hadn't thought of, and it's super early this demo. So thanks for that. I wrote a couple of comments, but I don't have access to a Google Doc.
Same.
Wait,
Same thing.
really? What? What's wrong with that? Huh? Anyone in the group can you talk? Sorry.
No problem.
Got it. Now we can edit.
Let me refresh that. All right. I think a lot of these are small details of copy and UI. So we don't need to go through all of those. But I want to point some of these. Loving to see the UI being implemented, and the link on the job page, the go to deployments page to approve. That's brilliant, because I really think we shouldn't be duplicating functionality everywhere, and environments and deployments really is the source of truth for these kind of actions. So redirecting the user there makes a lot of sense, rather than just adding the same action on the jobs page. One comment that I have, I'm trying to clean this up as I go. When you had the same user not being able to approve the deployment job, is that the concept of same user here is the trigger of the deploy job trying to approve the same deploy job? Is that it?
Yes.
Right. I'm trying to think if this is something we want to enforce, or perhaps something that we want to give as a configuration in the settings for the instance or for the project, in the sense that what if that operator is the person responsible for the infrastructure, and then they have to do an emergency change to fix the infrastructure, and they're the only ones that are available to approve. So we might want to allow users to be able to do that, especially if they are the only one who has been configured as an accessor for that protected environment. Then it makes even more sense, because there's no alternative for that person. But I think this is the kind of detail you just mentioned that we should take to users and really sweat the details of this workflow. So yeah, really happy with this. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. So actually, I wanted to talk bit about the Accessors versus execute approvers. So this topic was brought up at first. At first, I proposed that we shouldn't separate this concept, that we should only introduce accessors. And then Kevin, he argued that maybe we should have separate the concepts. But after I was thinking about this future, I'm kind of inclined to separating executors and approvers. So here's why. Imagine a situation like there's a operator group and then QA tester group. And then now operator group want to enforce approval from QA tester group per every deployment. And then of course, they want to set the configure the protected environments. If we merge the concept as an accessors, then the operators have to give their execution access to the QA testers, which sounds a bit weird. Probably from their perspective, they just require approval. Just they want to see the environment as a read-only, and then just check the on UI or something, and then give an approval, and then now it's ready to go, or something like that. And also the kind of similar topic was brought up in feature flag permission feature, that we have a feature flag feature as a product that each environment, users can set the different flag state per environment. So deployment executors and the deployment approvers, also future flag accessors, these three things can be totally separated. And for example, operators are able to execute deployments. QA testers can do approval only, and then like developers can flip the feature flags. And then of course, if it's merged into one thing, then like a developers gonna end up having execution and then also approval, the policy, the permission. So especially in large organization, this is not really preferable. So yeah, that's the reason I'm inclined to separating concept executors approvers. Any opinions?
I think that makes sense. One thing that is not entirely clear to me is what rights do I get as an accessor in the context of an environment?
What's right?
Like which actions can I take on that environment?
Yeah, so maybe it makes sense to set up the user group role permission per actions. For now, there are only 3 actions: deployment execution, deployment approval, and the feature flag change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about each of these actions to have an opinion on it, but I think we can continue the discussion async as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, Jania. Thanks for raising. I'm trying to also better understand it too. I guess my question is it more work to do that? Will it, just in the sort of the thinking about scope, is it simpler to just do it without separating those 2 roles? Or I don't know, or I don't even know if that makes a difference really in your guys' mind.
From an engineering perspective, it requires a bit more work, but it's not significant. I think, it's not significant. It should be feasible. Basically, we can copy and paste what's existing for deployment execution. So yeah, it's basically copy and paste work.
Okay. I think, yeah, maybe Daniel, maybe we can take time to think about that and then come back to it. Get you a decision in like a day or so. Okay, cool. Yeah, Daniel, I think you had other feedback. You want to go through that?
I think a lot of these are just like specific thoughts on different points of the process with regards to the UI. I think that the one that I like to address that's more relevant is this one. What do we change anything on the play button on the pipeline ref on the pipeline and the jobs pages? Because that button right now allows people to just run the manual job. So do we want to disable that button? Do we want to like redirect it to the deployments page? Something like that.
At this moment, users cannot click the play button. So they have to visit the environment page, deployment page.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we should definitely think of some pattern then to make sure it's clear to them that either the button is disabled or that it's doing something else now that will take them elsewhere.
Yes. So currently, it's not really clear that. Let me, for example, create a pipeline. That it's why it's blocked, why it's manual job. It's converted manual job. It's not really clear, especially from pipeline perspective. So For example, I'm seeing a pipeline list page, and the user is seeing the pipeline mini graph. It's currently shown as a blocked, and then like test money option. So approval, the context of approval is not surfaced on the pipeline graph. So that's a kind of UX issue that it's not clear that it's waiting. And then it's not play. Why it's play icon is shown? This shouldn't be shown. Maybe like the other type of action icon should be like a visiting to environment page should be shown here. Maybe.
Yeah, I think rather than trying to ad hoc like remove or disable buttons all over, it makes sense for me to do a quick mapping of like where the state is shown during the process, like in which pages, and then we tackle that as a broader strategy of, do you want to hide all of the buttons when you don't have the permission, or do you want to make them disabled with a popover or just a link to the deployments page, and we use this strategy everywhere. But yeah, I can see you disabled the functionality already, which is what makes sense.
Yeah. So I think we need more UX consideration around here, this workflow. Yes. Yeah, so it's time. So we gotta finish this. So thank you for everyone joining this call. I'm gonna summarize this what we talked about in this call tomorrow in that tech evaluation issue. So let's keep this discussing in async. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you all. Great
Thanks,
work.
folks. Have a great day. Great work.
Bye.